Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Hollerita, and today I'm going to show you a worm farm that I bought from Walmart and that I'm going to be doing and seeing how well this works out. So I'm going to show you the contents of what comes with it first. It comes with magic worm bedding, and it gives the instructions of how it is to be used. It comes with a container, and it has the vent holes in the top. There's the inside. It also comes with the worm food to feed them. And if you do feed them anything, it has to be organic, and you have to use organic soil to do them. And it comes with directions of what to do and how it's to be used, and we'll get more into that. And if you want to put a handle on it, it comes with a rope and 2 little washers. Not sure that I'm even going to use those just yet, but that is the contents of the worm farm. It is made by Magic Products. And I was trying to see if it said anything else. A 1.5 pound bag of magic worm bedding, a 4-ounce bag of magic worm food, a carrying handle, and the instructions are included. And I think this was either $12.74 or $12.94. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, this is the contents of what comes with it. And I will be showing you how you set it up and how it progresses, and see if we can raise some worms. Because I plan on using these for fishing, because you know I've been fishing a lot here lately. So I shall return shortly and show you what we do next. Alright guys. So what we did was I used a little over half of this worm bedding, and it says to mix it in a separate container, and you use 1 quart of water per pound of bedding. So there's like 24 ounces of bedding in here, so that's almost 2 pounds, I think. No, I don't even remember how many ounces is in there, y'all, but anywho. And it says to use well water or rainwater. So you take it and you mix it up in this, and the reason you got to let it sit for 24 hours, and the reason that you got to let it sit is because this needs to kind of absorb your water. So yeah, this is a little messy. And I apologize in advance, but my grandson is still up, and him and his daddy are outside cleaning fish from today. So if they come in a-talking, then, you know, it's all good. Because we've really been doing a lot of fishing here lately. But anyway, what you do is you mix this up together, and you basically let this sit for 24 hours, absorb your water. Now, if it's too wet, you can always add more soil. And if it's too dry, you can always add just a tad of water. Excuse me, guys. But you want it to be wet enough that it does not stick to your worms. If it's too dry, it will absolutely stick to the worms. So, I'm probably going to add just a little more soil, because that feels a little bit wet to me. This is just like really soft organic soil. Now, we did a little research, and you can use organic cricket food to feed your worms, or you can purchase the stuff that comes with this separately. You can also purchase that to feed your worms. And like I said, we'll get into more details as we progress with this. I really got interested in worms as a composting idea, but we've read a little bit of information. You can't really compost soil that you use to raise Canadian night crawlers. So this will not be getting used for compost, because we are going to raise worms for fishing, not composting right away. If this works out well, maybe we'll get another one and do it separately. But anyway, we're going to let this sit. I don't want to add any more dirt because it's pretty damp right now, but it's going to absorb more as the night goes. And I'm washing my hands, guys. So what I will do is I will let this sit overnight into tomorrow, and I will bring you back tomorrow night and we'll see how it looks. Okay, guys, so we're back, and it's actually been 48 hours since I done my dirt, but I had to cool it down because we are using the night crawlers and they have to be kept cold. So what I did was put my dirt in, and I added some ice. Of course, you can see the ice is melted, but my dirt's cold because these are my worms, and you can't put them in there. Gosh, I hope she didn't kill them when she shook them up earlier. You can't make a drastic change on them, temperature change, because it will kill them. Yeah, Chastity dumped them out of the refrigerator earlier, so this is a good time to check them. Make sure they're still alive. Yep, it's alive. I thought it was dead. And I'm not using the dirt that they were in, just for the simple fact it's, you know, they've been in there for a minute, so really I have no idea how long they've been in here, so if a little gets in, that's okay, but I really don't think that one's alive. This one is, though, that's in here because he's running from me. It's a little feller. They were kind of all gathered up in one corner there. Oh. I thought it moved. I don't know. I don't really think that was alive. Well, these are all on the top too. Maybe this is, no. So anywho, y'all get the idea. And these have to be kept at the same temperature between, I believe it's 40 and 50. Oh, he is alive. Yeah, that one's not. Yeah, he is too. My bad, I thought he was dead. Obviously, you can't be scared of getting dirty to do this. Because if you don't like getting dirty, you might as well not do it. Oh, yep, there he is alive. I don't know if these other ones are alive in a minute because they'll be moving down into the dirt. Yep, see him moving? It might actually be a little bit cold in her refrigerator for these worms, because look. There's a couple that was, I don't even know what that was. Oh, see, there's another one down in there. Trying to hide. So let me recheck these other ones. Make sure they're... Oh, see? It's alive. So is that one. Maybe they're just too cold. So anyway, I'm going to mix them in with my dirt. And I actually think my dirt's really too wet, but I'm going to mix them down in there and get them. And I do think I'm going to add just a little bit of dirt. Now, my daughter is doing one with red wigglers. And they do not have to be kept as cold as these do. I mean, if you've got like a fridge or something, you can put these in, then great. But see, this is why you want wet dirt, because see how the dirt's sticking to the worm? You don't want that. You want it wet. So I'm going to kind of put them down in there. Should have checked this before I put my worms in, but I didn't, because I really think it was a little bit too wet. But they'll work their way around. This thing can actually hold up to, I forget how many worms it said. But anyway, they're not moving right at the moment too much because they're in a new spot. So they'll dig their way down into the dirt, and I will keep you informed of the progress on this as we go. And I'll try to give you an update maybe tomorrow. Today is Sunday, July the 15th, so hopefully I can give you an update tomorrow and we can see how they're doing in their new environment. Another thing is, if you find any, you need to check them daily, you need to feed them. Now, I will feed them after they kind of settle in. I'll go in and feed them. You just sprinkle the magic worm food that I showed you in the beginning. You just take and sprinkle it in a couple of little rows on there, and they will come up to get it. But I want them to kind of get used to their new environment first, and then you can put newspaper on top of that, and then you can lay your ice pack on top of that to keep them cool. Obviously this is styrofoam, so it's gonna hold the cool air in and keep them at the temp that they need to be. So anyway, like I said, I'll check on them in a little bit, and then I'll bring you back probably tomorrow, and we'll see how they're doing. So I shall see you in the next little clip. Alright guys, I was going to give you a few tips from the directions that were sent with this worm farm. It says, You need to check daily for sick or injured worms on top of the bedding, and they should be removed at once to keep the other worms healthy. It says you need to renew your magic worm bedding when it becomes extremely black. At this state, it is humus. Yeah, humus, I guess. Looks like dirt and is ready for your potting soil. Do not overcrowd the worm container. Make sure you keep them cool. Cushion the container from vibration if you're transporting your worms. If the bedding sticks to worms, it's too dry. We already talked about that. Remember that worm eats its own weight in food each day, so feed plenty of magic worm food as the food value of the bedding is used up. If you go fishing, you just take the number of worms you need with you. Then, if you do not use those worms, I would not suggest putting them back into this container. Excuse me. Just keeping them separate. Says if the bedding's used for the night crawlers or garden worms, the container with bedding should be cooled to 40 to 50 degrees before adding the worms. Then, if you're doing red worms, it only has to be 65 to 75. But anyway, we did use well water in ours, not rainwater, as it suggested you could use rainwater or well water. But I wanted to show you an update on these. So I have my ice in there. And we keep this changed out a couple of times a day. I have my newspaper. Now, as you can see, there's a couple of worms up on top, and they may just be up eating. But if you touch them, they move and they go back down. There's a big fat one. And this right here is their food. I probably will add some more food later this evening or in the morning. But you can see the little holes where they go in and out of the bedding. But you just do need to see there's one over in this corner here. But you need to check them every day, which I do. I check them like twice a day, and sometimes more if the kids want to see them. But they're doing well. Today is a week after my last video. Well, it's Saturday, not Sunday, but it is a week later, so it's like July the 22nd or something. It's Saturday. And here is the container that they came in if you would like to purchase one. We did purchase ours at Walmart. So, like I mentioned before, I do not have internet access right now. So if you leave me questions or comments, I may be delayed in getting back to you, but I will return any questions. I will return an answer for those if I know it. If I don't know it, I will research it and see what I can do. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, I hope that you will subscribe. I will be posting videos randomly as I can. And leave me some comments, guys. Y'all know I love them. So until the next video, guys, hugs and love. Bye.